Chapter 1757 is the rule of exclusion. Old money was smashed by thunder. Yang Kai clicking one's tongue in wonder. Qian Tong nodded. Although he did not suffer any major damage, the power of heavenly thunder is still not to be underestimated. Fei Zhitu mouth opened wide, cry out in surprise. I thought it was your practice or secret technique last time that caused heavenly thunder, but that was not the case. Why did I have practice or secret technique? Qian Tong didn't know whether to cry or laugh. There are many secret techniques in Shadow Moon Palace. You are not clear. What kind of secret technique can trigger heavenly thunder? Besides, even with this kind of secret technique, old man has no time to practice. It's too late to consolidate the realm of On. What about the earthfire last time? Dong Xuaner asked from the side. What earthfire? Fei Zhitu looked stunned. Dong Xuaner blinked his big eyes and explained, in the first 2 months, when the honored master retreats, a terrifying earthfire suddenly appeared and burned the place to ashes. There is such a thing. Fei Zhitu was surprised. It is also the reason why old man was rejected by heaven and earth law. Qian Tong was extremely annoyed. Since old man returned to Gloom Star, he has encountered this kind of incident more than once, although all have been resolved by old man. But always like this, old man can't concentrate on practice. Not only that, during the old man controlling air flight, in the void, there is also an astral wind that floods into the consciousness sea and consumes the power of old man's divine soul now. Old man dare not maintain the time of controlling air flight for too long or fly too high for fear of unbearable consequences. Heavenly thunder, earthfire, astral wind. Ellipsis quote. Yang Kai tweeted, Old Qian, your life is so bitter. Heard Yang Kai's teasing, Qian Tong looked like crying without tears. This kind of life is really frightening. Fortunately, Qian Tong these days not at all secluded cultivation, otherwise, once disturbed, it is very likely to be devil. Become devil, when the time comes, even if he is a Void King stage powerhouse, also impossible turn peril into safety. Why is there such a thing? Fei Zhitu had an incredible expression and his eyes were full of surprise. This city master has lived for hundreds of years. This is the first time I have heard of this. Old man is also the first time. Qian Tong sighed heavily, and then looked at Yang Kai expectantly. Yang Kai, you are now the Dark Star Master. Can you think of a way to let old man exempt from these worries? He is really troubled, and he doesn't know when heavenly thunder earth fire this thing will strike, so he can't go to retreat anymore. Now all his expectations are it can only be pinned on Yang Kai, hoping that he can figure out a way. To his great disappointment, Yang Kai slowly shook his head. Gloom Star's heaven and earth law, I can't even touch it, but it's impossible to break it. Qian Tong hearing this, another sigh. The hall was silent for a while, and the expressions of several people were heavy. Shadow Moon Palace has released Gloom Star only one Void King stage powerhouse. This was originally an extremely glorious thing, but Qian Tong is now rejected by heaven and earth law. This is not good news. Up. For a while, Qian Tong suddenly opened the mouth and said, it seems that there is only one way to leave. Old Ghost Qian, you want to leave Gloom Star? Fei Zhitu shocked. Wei Guchang and Dong Xuaner also looked at Qian Tong with dismay, as if they wanted to say something to persuade them, but they didn't know where to start. If you don't leave here, old man will have to suffer from these problems all his life. From then on, his cultivation level will never progress. Qian Tong slightly smiled. Old man finally got promoted to the Void King stage, but I don't want the future. Having been stuck on this realm, old man still wants to go higher, stand farther, and see the more exciting scenery. A lot of age, and still so ambitious. Fei Zhitu smiled wryly. Old Fei, could it be that you were willing to stay in the Void Return stage forever? Qian Tong asked rhetorically. How is it possible? Fei Zhitu snorted. If it hadn't been for the last time the realm fell, this city master would have left Gloom Star with you. No matter if I can snoop on the profound mystery of the Void King stage, always you have to try it. Yes, people go high, water seeks its own level. Since you have decided, then I have nothing to do. It's easy to say, you can rest assured here at Shadow Moon Palace, I will take care of it. Fei Zhitu stern saying. Yang Kai, if old man wants to leave here, I have to rely on your strength. Qian Tong looked towards Yang Kai. This is naturally okay. Yang Kai slightly smiled. Actually, I originally had a plan, and I plan to implement it recently, which coincides with Qian Lao's idea. P greater than. What's the plan? Qian Tong hearing this, his eyes brightened leisurely. I am going to deploy the space law formation to another cultivation star. Transmission across the stars, Qian Tong and Fei Zhitu simultaneously exclaimed, shocked, looking at Yang Kai extremely. Yang Kai nodded. Gloom Star has been closed for long enough, and it's time to go out and take a look. If this can be achieved, the martial artist of Gloom Star can leave after the practice reaches peak. Gloom Star, go to other places to feel the profound mystery of the Void King stage. Qian Tong and Fei Zhitu remained silent for a long time, but their eyes widened in shock. For a while, Qian Tong stammering asked, can this kind of thing be done? It's human beings. Yang Kai laughed. At least, I don't think there is any problem with the layout of the space law formation. But if another cultivation star powerhouse uses the space law formation you set up to invade the Gloom Star, how about it? Qian, a trace of worry emerged on Tong. Ha ha, don't worry about this. Fei Zhitu laughed heartily, took out a few tokens with the character, Ling, from the own space ring, and shook his hand. Without this thing, it is impossible to use the space law formation arranged by Yang Kai. What is this? Qian Tong was puzzled. Transmission token. Fei Zhitu immediately explained. After Qian Tong figured out the role of transmission token, he couldn't help but relieve the worry in his heart. Looking thoughtful, Yang Kai, you made this transmission token, it seems to have planned for a long time. Of course, setting up space law formation in Gloom Star is nothing more than practicing. Yang Kai hey smiled. His real goal is to connect Gloom Star with Star Territory. This is not just a whim, it is something Yang Kai has been thinking about. From Gloom Star to the lively place of Star Territory, it takes too long, but if there is space law formation, these problems will not exist. In High Heaven Sect now, there is more than one Void Return 3-layer peak powerhouse. As a sect master, Yang Kai is bound to make plans for their future. Even he himself has arrived at the Void Return 3-layer and urgently needs to leave Gloom Star to prepare for promotion to the Void King stage. Even more how, with the help of space law formation, Yang Kai can also practice Space Force. In these days, he found that his mastery of Space Force has become more profound. Of course, Yang Kai will not let go of things that can be counted in one fell swoop. Well, you think so well, then old man is relieved, you can become the gloomy Star Master, it is the blessing of the whole star. Qian Tong laughed. Then Mr. Qian, do you leave with me, or wait until I finish setting up the space law formation before sending it away? Yang Kai asked again. Qian Tong thought about it for a while, and said, when you finish setting up the space law formation, old man will spend more time in Gloom Star. There are still some things to deal with in Shadow Moon Palace. Then Qian Lao waits for good news from me. Yang Kai slightly smiled. After the negotiation, Yang Kai did not stay in Heavenly Fate City for a long time, but returned to High Heaven Sect directly. To summon the great elders of the inner sect, Yang Kai told him about his next plan. Yi Siyun, Yang Shuju and the others looked at Yang Kai excitedly and agreed. Needless to say, Yi Siyun is the one who has the most hope of being promoted to the Void King stage in the entire Gloom Star, but the last time she had to stay at High Heaven Sect and look after Yang Yan, she missed it. Opportunity to leave with Yang Kai. If Yang Kai can really place the space law formation on the cultivation star next to her, then she will have a chance to get rid of the rules of Gloom Star. And Yang Shuju and the others also hold this mindset. Last time they failed to get promoted in the blood prison smelting trial, it doesn't mean that they will be hopeless for a lifetime. The promotion of breakthrough is a matter of course. It is necessary to spare no effort, even if it breaks through the south wall, it will not look back. Since everyone is okay, let this sect master do it. Yang Kai grinned and looked all around. But before that, you still need to help me raise supplies. P greater than. What supplies? Yi Siyun asked. Space Spirit Crystal. Yang Kai expression solemnly said, the most critical material for arranging space law formation is Space Spirit Crystal. And depending on the length of the transmission distance between the two space law formations, the space spirit needed the number of crystals is also different. Since the space law formation that spans the stars and super long distances is to be arranged, Space Spirit Crystal is naturally the more the better. Okay, let's do this. Yi Siyun repeatedly nodded. Now High Heaven Sect can easily connect with the entire Gloom Star. It is not difficult to raise materials. The key is how many Space Spirit Crystals can be raised. After all, this thing is really rare. Even if some are found occasionally, they are all used to refine Space Ring. Yang Kai had a lot of them before, all of which were mined under Dragon Cave Mountain, but he had long been used up by his practice Space Force. The space spirit crystal used in the layout of the Space Law Formation during this time was also searched from the warehouses of major sect and city. 3 months later, I will leave Gloomstar. I hope that when the time comes, you can help me raise enough space spirit crystal. Yes. The great elders promised one after another, quickly scattered, and went to contact the sects of Gloomstar. I believe that after 3 months, Yankai should be able to gain a lot. The high levels of High Heaven sect rushed out. Yankai was idle and spent a few days. He accompanied his parents and brother, and then took Su Yan and Chia Ning Chang, traveling around Gloomstar. This time, I don't know when I will be free. He only hopes that he can accompany the 2 senior sisters for more than 3 months and enjoy the gentleness with the 2 women of own time. This kind of life, for him, is simply a luxury.